Okay, this is going up on my Facebook and my YouTube. So I thought hard about how I wanted to present this out of respect for my friends. I will say this, I will ask this. I'm gonna post this on my Facebook. Immediately it's going on my YouTube. Facebook friends, when you see the link on my YouTube, just click it, hit the like for me. So check it out. I want to dive right into this. Got balloons behind me. Yesterday was my son's 5th birthday. Gave me an opportunity to really dive into the PlayStation 5. And so I wanted to talk about some things, man. I've had a console since Thursday when it came out. I had a couple of hiccups. I didn't want it to stand up. Then I laid it down flat. I ended up having it upside down. Just a lot of weird stuff happening. But once I got everything set up and installed, man, it was like, this is nice. This is nice to have a new console. So I have that feeling of, you know, something new, kind of a hype going on, right? But then when I start diving into it, the biggest thing that just made me pissed off was the resolution, okay? So for my Facebook community, I'm gonna do the best that I can to try to educate, right? So I don't want to draw this out, but essentially today with console gaming, just like with PC, we've got 3 essential resolutions that people are gonna play with. And I'm gonna tell you those right now. You got Full HD, which is 1080p. You got QHD, which is 1440p. And then you have UHD or 4K, which is 2160p. All right, so let me just say this. The PlayStation 5, $500 should be $400, okay? As of right now, when I'm making this video, it's Tuesday evening. Got CNN playing in the background. Say what you will about that. I watch Fox 2. I don't want to hear that. I just can imagine somebody right there saying, oh my God, he listens to CNN. The PlayStation should be $400 because today it cannot produce resolution in QHD. Why is that a problem? That's a big issue because you have a lot of people that are not buying 4K TVs with HDMI 2.1. What that means is that they cannot get 4K at 120 hertz. It means that they will also struggle with doing any other resolution at 120 hertz. That means that they are stuck with a console that can only, for the most part, do 60 frames per second at 1080p, right? Your Xbox Series X and S, which are respectfully $500 and $350. And no, before I go any forward, I don't own an Xbox. Get out of here, KJ. I don't plan on owning an Xbox. I don't want an Xbox Series X. I don't want a Series S. So this isn't a red versus blue. This isn't an Xbox versus PlayStation thing. So don't try me with that shit. All right. But those consoles that I just talked about that are $500 and $350 on this side, I'm just saying this side is Xbox, this is PlayStation, can both do QHD gaming. In fact, the console that is $350, the Xbox Series S, that's the selling point to the console. It's the cheapest way for you to get a platform where you can play games in resolution higher than 1080p, which for the most part is what we did last generation because not many games natively ran in 4K, but you can play games in QHD and at up to 120 hertz if they're designed. Those games for the most part are probably going to be shooting games like Call of Duty, Fortnite, Apex, Halo, Gears of War. These are the games, the shooting games are the ones that a vast majority of people that play on console play. I mean, you have people that play sports games and then obviously fighting's a whole nother genre, then RPGs, etc., whatever, this, that, and the third. But you're missing that resolution target on this console that's $500. Again, I'm trying to tell you people, the first thing that anybody should have been investigating when you were looking at these reviews of these consoles and this hype was building was your TV set. If you're not playing on a Sony 900H, an LG CX or C9 OLED, dare I say like one of the higher end, I think TCL models has HDMI 2.1. And there's a few like LGs and some other, you know, miscellaneous screens that will have those ports. You are really going to be missing out on your full experience. Incorporating QHD at launch puts you in a position where you can buy yourself a high quality monitor, and you can take advantage of those high frame rates, that higher native graphical fidelity that QHD can present you, because a lot of the games that are AAA, such as Assassin's Creed Valhalla, are not natively running in 4K. It's at a lower resolution that's being upscaled, and you're definitely not getting it at 120 hertz. So my frustration, now I'm telling you, I'm really frustrated. It's just trying to understand why this console was priced at $500. So let me just quickly talk about the great things, because games look better. Playing like the original Spider-Man on my PlayStation 5 on my Asus monitor that is 4K, 144 hertz, where I'm only getting 60 hertz because it's through HDMI. Looks great. Looks absolutely amazing. HDR, all of that. Loads quick as hell. So there's a lot of great selling points, but to me, those are not enough selling points for this console to be priced at the competitor that can do those things better. Now, I do understand the relationships that, are formulated in Japan and in other parts of the world where Sony might get time exclusive, or they might get specific console exclusive content, such as like the Final Fantasy VII remake. That's not something you can get on the Xbox right now. But when you have a direct competitor that has their shit priced at the exact freaking same, and it does more, that bothers me, dude. It really does bother me. So I know a lot of people that do have their PlayStation. They're probably like, oh man, I'm absolutely loving it. Maybe you are. It's a great console. I can't say that it's just all bad. That's not what this is about. But the resolution is a big missing point for me, because the resolution is a big selling point for this console. This is where people are feeling like they're finally finna be able to play in 4K. Number one, it's not natively, not the AAA titles for the most part. And then number two, if you don't have the right TV, you're not even gonna get the most out of it with the frame rate, man. It's just bothers me. It really bothers me that it's priced the way it is and that it's missing those key features. Now, the resolution is possibly something that can be changed, but the console's out. I've already spent $500 on it, right? And it's hard as hell to trust any early reviewers that you get, because you never know if the mofos are getting paid or whatnot. You never know where they're coming from. You understand what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where it's like, knowing as much as I know about technology, I had to get it myself. But I can tell you this, sitting at my monitor and not being able to take full advantage of a resolution where it's boasting on the box that it can do 8K, but it's not able to do QHD, that's a big deal. Because even on a 4K TV that is unable to produce 120 hertz in 4K, it still would be able to do 2K, which is QHD at 120 hertz. That's a big deal. You might have to do a little bit of research to understand my frustration on it, but it's almost as if, we're being cheated on something. And to close this, I just want to tell you guys, man, if you see this, do not pay more than $500 for this console. This console is worth $400. It's not worth $1,000, $1,200, all of that craziness that people are paying for it. Be wise about this investment. Do research about this investment. Understand the TV that you're getting. Research if it has HDMI 2.1. Check into the input lag. Check into the response time of the TV. Check about the pixel density of it. The upscaling technique properties that it has. You need to research all of those things before you buy into this. I'm blessed. I'm in a good situation where my hustle is real hard and I can afford to get this, but a lot of people aren't in that situation. And then ultimately, if you get one from a retailer, check their return period. I got mine from Best Buy. I got into January 16th to return it. No questions asked, as long as it's not broken. I'm going to keep mine, but I'm just saying that's something you want to look at. So take this as a little bit of a rant, right? But this is also kind of a buyer's guide, a buyer's beware, and ultimately a review. It's not a bad console, but it's definitely missing some things. And at the price point, it should be cheaper. Max love.